Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters, and welcome to another exciting episode of whatever the fuck we're calling this channel these days. Today's installment is brought to you by Pfizer. Pfizer, the most ethical and trustworthy company in the history of the pharmaceutical industry. These are the guys that brought us COVID-19, the vaccine. Well done. That's the topic of today's conversation. They also laid the groundwork for old people to have more heart attacks, set world records for being lying cunts, and allegedly killed children in Nigeria. Just the kinds of people I want in charge of my healthcare.
Whoa.
Is that coming on just a little bit too strong? Like I'm just seriously going to start the video that way? I'm just going to drop that on you? Like just casually accuse a company of committing a mini atrocity? Seems pretty full on. And I guess sometimes you got to take a step back, you got to pause and reflect on your own personal biases. And in this instance, I'm going to say, yep, this shit is free game. Let's do it. Because this speaks to a larger issue that's sweeping across society today, which is we've lost faith in the people running this shit. Trust is at all-time lows across the board, and probably for good reason. Which brings us back to the vaccine. And we're going to look at this from the perspective of a person who is vaccine hesitant, while at the same time remaining open to the possibility that an mRNA vaccine may be the biggest breakthrough in the history of fucking vaccines. You never know. Now that said, in this highly charged cultural and political climate, is it okay to ask questions? Common sense questions. Questions that any thinking person would ask. And the answer to that is absolutely fucking not, which is why I'm introducing this new segment that I like to call How to Get Your YouTube Channel Deleted. And you can pretty much follow everything I say from here on out under that banner, from now until the end of time, or until such a time as when my channel does actually get deleted. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Just a quick disclaimer. I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm a person talking on YouTube. Maybe not for long. Take from that what you will. Do your own goddamn motherfucking research. So, should being woefully underqualified preclude me from making bold proclamations about public health policy? Yes. Yes, it should. Oh wait, is that you, Bill? So you don't need any qualifications? The only thing I'm missing is stealing someone else's software and making billions of dollars off of it, allegedly. Ah, so I see how this works. If you're rich, you can talk any crazy shit you want, and people will take you seriously. That's the difference between him and me. Okay, got it. People accuse this guy of some crazy stuff. People say Bill wants to block out the sun to stop climate change. And that's not necessarily true. He's just sponsored studies that'll show what would happen if we do block out the sun, just in case we need to. He also recommends that rich countries switch to eating synthetic meat. Sounds delicious. Sign me up. I personally cannot wait to live in Bill's nightmare dystopian wet dream of a future. But to be fair, it's going to take out-of-the-box thinking to face the challenges that we've got in front of us at the moment. So maybe he's on to something. Who knows? I definitely don't think he's the Antichrist. That's giving him way too much credit, guys. Maybe it's only slightly less sinister than that. I think he probably just wants to control the entire world. And who can blame him? For all his failings, at least he's self-aware. In a recent interview, he said that he's just another rich guy with an opinion. The only difference between him and I, and probably you, is that he's rich enough to make his opinions come true. Now, the reason I bring all this up is because it helps to set the scene. This is the context that we're working in, boys. The pandemic and the lockdown have been hard on everyone, except for billionaires. They're just getting richer and richer, and the divide between rich and poor is just getting larger and larger. Bill is symptomatic of a new form of governance that people are calling neo-feudalism. Essentially, it's where unaccountable oligarchs own everything and we do their bidding. And that's pretty much the direction we're headed in. Public policy is becoming privatized. Democracy is dying if it ever was really alive in the first place. The golden rule has been restored. He who has the gold makes the rules. This is a double whammy for us poor serfs. Number one, we're becoming less well off. And number two, we have less of a say in how things are run. Does that sound like a good deal to you? Let's briefly return to the vaccine again. With shit like what I've already mentioned going on, of course people are losing faith in the system. Of course a lot of people are vaccine hesitant, because they don't trust the people in charge who are telling them to take it. Just look up Pfizer's track record. It's fucking terrifying. I have no idea how these guys are still in business. Then we've got the jokers at the World Economic Forum. A lot of them are the oligarchs that I've been talking about, who between them probably own like 90% of the world's wealth. And the meme that they're trying to promote to everyone else is that you will own nothing and you will be happy. It's hard to take these guys seriously, like the hypocrisy knows no bounds. And also, people just don't like being told what to do, so I foresee some difficulties with getting everybody vaccinated. Now, it's obvious that we need something to slow the pandemic down, and I hope the vaccine works. I'm just concerned about the conditions that led to its creation. So that leaves the question, what do we do? And lucky for us, this is a philosophy channel. Here we like to solve problems, if only in theory. Philosophy is about figuring out what it means to be human, what it means to be a member of society, and it's also about figuring out just what the fuck is going on. The world is fucking nuts. So over the next few weeks, we're going to look at the vaccine and try to figure out what to do about it. And I must emphasize again, look at this as a thought experiment. I'm not trying to convert anyone to anything. What I'm mostly trying to do, and this might actually be a beneficial process for some people to engage in, is to understand why I believe the things that I believe. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist in the QAnon sense. I literally think that shit's crazy, but I'm also not super gung-ho about the vaccine. So there's any number of things that we can dig into here. Why do I think QAnon is crazy? Is that fair to the people that believe in it? Why am I so hard on billionaires when I'd probably do the exact same thing in their place? Why am I vaccine hesitant when I like science? Is it okay to feel that way? Because all the mainstream coverage is telling me, no, it's not. In this narrative, I'm the one that's crazy. But here's some reasons for vaccine hesitancy anyway. And we'll explore these in the coming weeks along with my deeply disturbed psychology. Number one, this was fast-tracked. Number two, this is a new experimental technology, mRNA vaccine, Number three, the companies that make this aren't liable if anything goes wrong. Number four, the first vaccine that's rolling out was made by Pfizer, the most ethical and trustworthy company in the history of the pharmaceutical industry. So to wrap up, I'm open to learning, to being wrong, and also to being right. And I'm also going to present things from my perspective. I'm not going to pretend that I don't have an opinion. Of course I do. So let's dive in and explore this issue and learn more about ourselves together. Huh? Sounds fun. Until next week, party on, dudes.